let's get it chocolate. So the game when I walk into my block list. Got my ex tryna put me on a...
What's up YouTube, it's your boy Abe, back with another video. I want to dive right into this one. This one is my lateral change of direction training workout for the lower body. Super simple yet effective, so if you want to become fast, keep watching. So my goal right now is just trying to produce that power, trying to get out as quickly as possible, landing back into the athletic position and bringing it right back. Keep in mind that as you push away, you are being resisted, but whenever you come back towards that resistance, you're being assisted, so you need to ensure that you are staying nice and low during those landings. So for this exercise, I do have a resistance of 20, going for 5 pushes on each side. Watch how I progress from a more controlled push with a pause in between to a more quick cut with less time in that pause. This last one, I focus more on speed and reaction, exploding as quickly as possible, going from shuffle to a return. And during my workouts, I sometimes like to include a little bit of mobility during my exercises. For example, for this one, I do have a band distraction hip stretch, just trying to focus on pushing in that hip, feeling that stretch right in the hip flexor down that quad. And I actually did these in between the shuffles to ensure I was getting enough rest there. As footballers, the hip is a muscle that is widely overused, so you need to ensure that you are taking care of that body part properly. And moving on to my strength block, the first exercise is an exercise that you have seen plenty of times on this channel. Is a single leg RDL with a nice and heavy kettlebell. The reason this exercise is such a staple of mine is because it is great for building hamstring strength that will transfer to speed on the field and build resilient hamstrings. Up next is the TRX plank with alternating hip flexion. If you're tired of your endless crunches, try this out. This exercise is a lot more functional and better transfers to other exercises and on the pitch. Like most of my workouts, I don't rest in between exercises. Instead, I superset them with another exercise that targets a different body part while the muscles used previously recover. For this strength block, I superset it with 3 exercises. And by superset, I mean in this order: RDLs, followed by TRX planks, followed by squat 3 position hold, which you will see shortly. And once I complete all 3, I start back at the RDLs and repeat the process 3 times. And the third exercise of this block, like I mentioned, is the goblet 3 position squat hold. So pay attention to how I'm at the top position. I'm going to hold here for 10 seconds. After the 10 seconds are up, I'm going to drop down a little bit lower and hold for another 10 seconds. Keep in mind, look how I am always keeping that tension on that red mini band. And after another 10 seconds, I'm going to drop even lower, which might be at parallel or even below parallel. And I'm going to hold that for again another 10 seconds. Next up is the accessory block. This block consisted of 2 exercises, also back to back for 2 sets. The first exercise is a long lever alternating glute bridge. Pay close attention to how my hips are off the ground and I am pulling my knee in one at a time while I keep my hips stable. If you watched my previous video on how to lift like a footballer, you know that this block includes lighter yet still critical exercises for a footballer's physical health. This is where you can work more on injury prevention, isolated or core exercises, and even add stretches in there. So next up is a frog stretch with reach. Pay attention to how my back is staying in neutral position. I'm guiding my hips back, and then all together I'm going to go ahead and reach, trying to put my armpit down to the ground so I also feel that stretch on my lat. So the two areas we are stretching here is the groin area and the lats. Next up is one of my favorite core exercises, is an assisted dead bug. So pay attention to how I am pulling that band, closing in the distance between my chest and my hips. I am trying to press my lower back onto the ground while extending my legs all the way up. Again, make sure that that band is being pulled nice and forward, just like that. And the last exercise of this block is a suitcase carry, going down and back for 20 yards. Pay attention to how my goal, while that kettlebell is trying to pull me down, is to stay upright. Remember, for this exercise to be effective, you need to be holding either a really heavy kettlebell or dumbbell. What I also like to do, I like to imagine like I am walking on a tightrope while maintaining my balance. And to end off the workout, I did some weight room metabolic conditioning. My goal was to get as many rounds as possible with the following 4 exercises, going back to back with them with no rest for 12 minutes. This is great for footballers as it works their ability to continue producing high power and maintain stability during a fatigue state. And the exercise that you see on the screen right now is a rotational lift, just trying to produce as much power as possible. Next up is the Versa Climber. So with this one, again, just going continuously for 30 seconds. Up next were some med ball slams, again just trying to produce as much power as possible and trying to break that ball at the same time. Lastly, I ended off with some elbow planks, just holding that position, keeping my core nice and tight, not letting my hips sag. And that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like the video and start applying it immediately to your training. Don't forget to follow me on the gram where I upload exclusive workout footage. If you have any questions, guys, make sure you drop them down below and make sure you subscribe. See you on the next one.